Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Houston Millennial Podcast. I am your host, Jill Valentine. You are watching another great episode of Millennial Mondays.
What it do, everybody? My name is Ivan Sanchez, your president of Houston Millennials and your co-host for Millennial Monday podcast. Please comment down below if you have any questions for Jill, myself, or our special guest.
All right, guys, before we get started, I want to congratulate my amazing co-host, Ivan Sanchez, for winning the 2022 Boss Up Network Businessman of the Year Award. Woo! How do you feel, Ivan?
Man, hold him up. Like from politics to business, I'm all over the place. But for this past 4.5 years, I'm in commercial lending. I went so ham on it. And it's just truly an honor and privilege to be recognized for the bidney that you do every single day.
Yes, that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I'm so happy for you. All right, guys. So today's topic is from radio to podcast. We are going to discuss the evolution. And to help us with that topic, we invited a very special lady. Please, guys, help me welcome the beautiful air personality, Amanda Sapp from Amazing 102.5 FM.
I love the applause. I love that. Thank you guys so much for having me here today, Ms. Valentine, Ivan Sanchez, Houston Millennials team. I really appreciate being here this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here on our live podcast. Look at our office, Amanda. It's so great. We are live from the Houston Millennial headquarters, GalaWorks, a beautiful office space building located on River Oaks. Check it out with me on a virtual tour.
Dream with us. Office with Houston Millennials and GalaWorks for a place to hold a team meeting or a conference. Join a community of passionate young entrepreneurs in prime office space located at River Oaks and Galleria. Our co-working space is available for rent through memberships.
How about them apples, millennials? That is GalaWorks. It is actually ran by a millennial, Dr. Kudrat. We'll have him in a separate podcast. But this is a young professionals shared office space. We're leasing out one of these amazing spaces over here. So if anybody has any questions or concerns or want to inquire about it, go to www.galaworks.co, not com.co. So everybody, welcome back. For those that do not know what Houston Millennials is, Amanda, do you know what Houston Millennials is?
I'm going to say it's all in the name, but I'd love for you to share more.
So Houston Millennials is a nationally awarded organization that promotes millennial advancement in the public, private, and nonprofit sector. And that might seem kind of vague, but we do this through 7 standing committees that represent the most important aspects of a millennial's life. There's the business committee, women's committee, business committee, community service, health and fitness, and I'm forgetting one. There's probably the chairman's gonna kill me out of there. But all of us, I appoint very powerful, passionate people into those positions, and we have 36 annual events divided into 4 levels of membership, now with 9,250 members. How about them apples right
That's
there?
exciting. Congrats to you guys.
Yes, guys, check out this event from our previews.
Bam!
Everybody say millennial on 3. 1, 2, 3. You're very hard work.
Dang, doesn't that look fly, Amanda?
It looks
I
amazing.
know, it looks amazing.
We
When is the
made-
next event,
We
Ivan?
made all kinds of networking events cool. That was the business committee having Mill of Means, which is the Millennial Millionaire Fireside Chat. But the next event is a massive networking at Reset Bar from 6 to 9 is Millennials After Dark Professional Networking, end of year networking. We want to make sure that you start off 2023, Amanda, with a powerful network of young attorneys, political folks, business folks, and Miss Amanda Sapp right here is a radio personality, everybody. So I'm sure we're gonna throw in some free tickets, Amanda. You're gonna come out, shake hands, and kiss babies.
I'd love to come hobnob with you guys. That'd be great.
All right, Amanda. We love to start our questionnaire with some lightning round questions.
Sure
We
do.
like to put our guests on the spot. So, are you ready to play?
I am super ready. Let me also insert here that I'm now the newly appointed general manager of Amazing. So not only am I a personality there, to which I love that position, but I do also operate and run the station. So I'm excited about doing
Oh
that.
no, we know. We did our research, Amanda. We know you're a boss lady for sure. All right. So, are you ready? Ivan will explain the game.
So, Amanda, we're about to ask you 10 lightning questions. You have less than 10 seconds to answer
Okay.
each one.
All right. First question: who is your celebrity crush?
Chris Brown,
Ooh, do you prefer talking or texting?
talking,
Favorite childhood TV show?
Cosby Show,
Nice. If
Got
you
it,
were
brother.
invisible, who would you spy on?
no one,
No one, not the president, not Kim Jong-un, and
No
save the United
one.
States of America.
not a person.
All right. Last Halloween costume.
I was Lauryn Hill.
Oh, nice.
there we go.
Lauryn Hill.
All right.
Okay.
Did you believe in Santa Claus?
At first, yes.
Do you still believe in Santa Claus?
Yes.
What is the last song you downloaded?
Ooh, Tim's Free Mind.
All right. Is there one mistake you made in the past that you will change? What would it be?
None of them, because I know they all led to
Hey,
this.
no regrets.
Oh, nice, nice. Do you drink coffee?
Yes,
How many cups a day?
one.
All right. And last question. This is the hard one.
Ready.
What does see you at the top mean to you?
Oh man, I love when you ask and say that. I love when you say that. See you at the top is really for me anything that I would consider success.
Awesome.
Bam.
Yay. All right. That was fun. So we want to shout out to our special
Our boy Gilbert Garcia is one of our main sponsors
Special
here,
sponsor.
monthly sponsors. So shout out to Gilbert Garcia and check this video out.
This is Gilbert Andrew Garcia of A Tip from Gilbert. Talk, inspiration, and prayer every Monday from 11 to 12. And I just want to say, Houston Millennials, you rock.
Yay. All right, guys. So we are here back with the amazing Amanda Sapp. All right. So, yes, you were telling us that you were a station director, a promotions manager, and a air personality for Amazing 102.5. Correct?
That is correct. I'm the general
Awesome.
manager of Amazing 102.5 FM, powered by Bread of Life Inc. Yes.
Okay. How long you been with them?
4 years.
4 years?
Yes.
And when did you know that communication was your passion and that's the path you wanted to take?
Mass communication.
Mass
Right.
communication.
I believe when I was in school, in
Mhm.
high school,
Uh-huh.
I used to win all of these things. I was class president, treasurer, just all of anything that you could get into. I was a part of that, and I used to speak a lot, do a lot of speaking engagements with in front of my classmates and things like that. So I always knew that I was going to be speaking in front of people and large crowds. I just never knew that this was the route that was going to make that possible.
And
So
were you ever nervous to talk in front of people?
I'm nervous every time. I talk in
Okay,
front of people.
awesome.
Man, girl, you'll be kicking ass
I'm
when you
talking
speak.
about
I say
every
awesome
single time.
I say awesome because that makes you human.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure, for sure. And it makes it to me. It makes me that I actually care about what is about to happen.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Just to stay in that topic, and
Yeah, for
people
sure.
are like, probably look at us, all three of us, and like, man, how do they not get nervous up in there? Let me tell you, regardless, like she said, you
Mhm.
get excited about the
Yeah.
topic that you're going up.
For sure.
Public speaking, there was a Harvard study that said people prefer dying than freaking public speaking.
I believe that.
And it's one of the major stage fright things that happen to folks. But let me tell you, for any millennials out there or any professionals, just know that we all feel butterflies. But the thing is that you got to suck it up and be like, I'm not nervous. I'm excited.
Yes.
Because I'm about to deliver this information.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
And Amanda, what do you think about everyone starting their own podcast now, regardless of their educational background?
For sure, for sure. I feel like everyone deserves an opportunity to
Mhm.
express their stories in the best way that they possibly can. My thing about everyone starting a podcast is one thing that I've learned just from maneuvering through this entertainment industry is to be prepared.
Mhm.
Understand what you're about to say, who you're about to
Yes.
say it to, and do your homework. I think it's great that
Exactly.
everyone wants to do it. I just think that everyone should be prepared. Now, Miss Valentine, I have made huge mistakes not preparing. I've
Oh my
made
God.
mistakes in getting ready to interview someone, sweat dripping down my nose because I don't know
Uh-huh.
exactly what I should have known
Yes.
and
Mm.
didn't. And so I think that everyone should, if they desire to have a podcast, if they desire to develop their own platform, then they should do that, but go in prepared. And there's easy ways to do that. And that's just by doing your research.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I love that I went to school for communications. You'll get to learn the ethics, what to say, what not to say, how to not get sued.
For sure.
You gotta. I mean, what I learned in communication, since it's as my minors, attention getter, relate yourself to audience, establish credibility, thesis, and key points.
Hey!
Bam!
Nice.
Hey, take that and write that down, everybody.
Okay, Amanda. So, what is Bread of Life?
Bread of Life is a nonprofit organization that provides resources and supplies to families in need. Every third Saturday of the month, we do a contactless distribution where we have at least, at minimum, about 900 cars that come through our line. Each car has about 2 to 4 families inside of it that are there to get the services that we have to offer. Bread of Life has been doing this for 30 years and now. We just really actually celebrated 30 years this past September. And
30 years?
Yeah, for sure.
Holy
Yeah.
snipey highness.
Isn't that something? Let me tell you something about being in that sector, in the nonprofit sector, or any sector, really. We talk a lot about building relationships, building trust. I believe that with the organization that I am with, to be able to have been established that long and to do it with quality speaks volumes to who we are as a group and what we want to make sure that we deliver to our clientele who come to us. You have to do things with dignity. We do that. And so I'm very proud to work for Bread of
Awesome.
Life. And amazing is just a department of our organization.
Let me say,
Oh,
nonprofits
cool.
are not easy to run.
For sure.
No.
For sure.
And to last 30 years in a nonprofit and doing
Yeah.
such amazing community work. So imagine every single third Saturday of every single month.
Yeah.
900 freaking cars.
Yeah.
And inside every car, there's an entire family, from one person, obviously the driver, to 5, 6 folks in a car
Yeah.
that are in need.
That
So-
each have possibly 2 more families that they're there to get services for.
Jesus. So you give
Yeah.
them, what all do you give them
I have
on
to
this?
give them that too. So sometimes and they're quality products. We get about $5 million of products from Procter and Gamble every year. And in that is items like Tide, there's Mr. Clean, there's sanitized wipes, batteries, things that a person needs in time of a disaster. And so what we do is provide that to those families. And this is monthly. We have
that's amazing.
extended that to twice a month, where every first Saturday it's food only. And so we have relationships with people like the Houston Food Bank and things like that, where it does help support what what our families need. I have to give a huge shout out to Pastors Rudy and Juanita Rasmus, because they laid the platform. You know, they laid the space for us to be able to continue the mission and for us to continue to do the work that we do. And again, we do it with dignity. We take pride in doing it with dignity. I don't know about you guys, but I've been someone that's in need. And I know what it's like to, be in a space where you just don't know where you're going to get your next meal from. You don't know how you're going to keep your lights on. You don't know if you go through a disaster, what you're going to even do to survive that. We at Bread of Life have been able to develop a system to where we can give a person that needs all of those things at least a starting point to be able to do more. So we're trying to make the whole person whole. Make a person whole.
But can you imagine really not knowing where your next meal? I mean, the thing is that
yes, I can imagine.
I've been privileged enough. I mean, I've gone through a struggle when my mother passed away, and I put myself in college, and I remember seeing my account at $4, negative $2, and I really didn't know where it was going to come.
Yeah.
But we need to come as a community closer, because imagine homeless folks that are every day out in the streets asking for these coins. And it's such a controversial topic when the city is not trying to handle panhandlers or whatnot. But it's just a tragic that in the richest world, in the richest country in the entire world, we still have this issue. So shout out to the Bread of Life,
Yes,
Pastor
thank you so
Rudy
much.
and Amanda Sapp for that, man. Y'all need a good.
That's very inspiring.
And I'll say too, Ivan, homelessness or someone in need, the term has changed so deeply. It's not a person that it doesn't look like a person that that doesn't only look like a person that you see maybe on the corner or something like that. I'm talking, we're realizing that some of the cars that come through the line are later model cars. So, it might be a 2020 that's pulling up in this drive-through, and that
That's
person
going
is
through some
in
stuff.
need, you know, their car might be all they have. So I think there's this stigma behind what does a person look like that's homeless? What does a person look like has less than what you have? And I think once we remove that stigma and try to find out what exactly a whole person looks like, what they need, actually going deeper into an individual person, and we do that through our community health workers. So we have community health workers that go out into underserved communities, and they actually say, what do you need? Do you need insurance? Do you need or health access to health care? Do you need home, things like that? Our community health workers go out into the community and find people who are in that space to do more for them. It's not about just giving you a box and moving on. It's about really making sure that we service the entire
Creating a relationship.
person. And it's just not a person that is on the street corner.
Yeah.
Anybody. It's
Yeah.
a lot of people are one check away.
Some people that might
Yeah.
be in the risk of losing their homes, don't know how to feed their
For sure.
kids the next day. Man, that must be so stressful.
Yeah.
And I know. So, are you having this Bread of Life event on December 17th?
We are.
Oh, nice.
We are. And with that, it's the week before Christmas.
Mhm.
And I love that you're slurping your drink while we on this podcast. This is Houston Millennials. Y'all acting like some millennials.
The
up in here.
evolution from radio to
The
podcast.
evolution.
That's stuff
That's
you
what we're
can
doing
do.
here at Houston
Slurp
Millennials.
over
I
there.
was I was going to not say nothing, but it did it 2 more times. I'm going to
Oh,
mention
my
this
bad.
while we on this podcast. You all professional and whatnot. But anyway, no, on the 17th is the week before Christmas. And so you can even imagine then what the need is going to look like then. I want to get the stats of what we services in this past November for our clientele. And, like I said, we cannot do this alone. I told you what we get, what support we do get from Procter & Gamble, but it takes a village. That's a real statement. It is true. I know that there are some things that we would like to do with Houston Millennials, and there are so many other organizations that we have already connected to and want to connect with more. But it takes people. It takes human contact. It takes people who actually care to partner with us and say, we see the work you're doing and we want to help you do more. It just takes more.
It's 12 times a year
Yeah.
that you do this.
That's
and I
right.
know sometime in the middle of this year,
Mhm.
we committed to it. There was a couple of changes to our community service
Mhm.
committee. But every time I see you, every time I hear this thing, it just,
Yeah.
God dang, it
Yeah.
just breaks my heart because,
yeah,
there's some type of other fulfillment when you're helping someone in need.
that's right.
That feeling is sometimes how I used to compare this is it's greater than a freaking paycheck.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're working 2 weeks or an entire month and you get that check, you're like, oh, you
Yeah.
get your eyes light up and everything. That's the same feeling I get. And this is true community work. So we're going to not try. I hate the word try. We're going to recommit.
Yeah.
We have a new vice chairwoman, Laura Garcia.
Mhm.
Shout out to Laura Garcia. I got a surprise for you, baby girl, tomorrow.
Mhm.
To recommit into this because it's a set event
Mhm.
and you just need people power.
That's it. We just need people power. If you want to contribute monetarily, we accept that. You can go to breadoflifeinc.org and submit your donation there. If you'd like to volunteer during our time of distribution, and also, I might also mention every Sunday, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we're out with a partnership with the Homeless Coalition. And then I'll get the address and share that with you. But we do provide a hot meal through No Menu. They service people who are walking up, and it's near the police station. But we are servicing members in need at that location as well. So the give doesn't just stop at our distribution, but we also need volunteers for our events that we're doing again on Sunday, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. In front of the police station, and I'll get that information to you guys.
Thank you so much.
And for anybody, comment down below if you have any
Mhm.
questions for the mass communicator, Amanda
Yes.
Sapp, the general manager and host of 102.5, The Amazing, and one of the organizers for the Bread of Life,
Yep.
Mhm.
feeding all kinds of people in need every third Saturday.
Yep.
every third Saturday of every month.
Every third Saturday of the month. Yes.
If have any questions about her, about us, about Bread of Life, please comment down below.
See, that's why I love radio and podcasts.
That's
You
right.
can reach so many people and put your mission out there and just touch so many people in need, so many people that want to help, because there are those people that are looking to help other people.
Support.
Yes,
and
for
it doesn't,
support.
don't just support during the holidays.
Yeah.
People need help all year round.
All
It's like
right.
you said, it's 12 months or 12
Yes,
times
12
in the
months.
year that you could do this. Let me ask you guys something. Is
Okay.
that the reason you started this podcast? What was the purpose of this podcast?
Well, we actually find people's passion.
Mhm.
And we used to have a podcast, and then Mrs. Jill Valentine
Mhm.
and Sipil Yotlol, our producer, are extremely passionate and talented at this. So they came about and asked me, but she can give you a better reason of why we started the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed that you have a lot of advertisements in Houston Millennials, and I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to get to meet people like you, to get more experience. I just graduated with a broadcast journalism.
Congrats.
Thank you, bachelor's from the University of Houston, and I didn't know where to do my second move, because I've always been a boss lady, right? I've always done stuff myself. I am a private investor, and I didn't know if I was gonna like get in a job somewhere, right? So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do my own thing and see where it goes. So yeah, everybody can start their own podcast now. So I just want more experience. I'm gonna go to law school. I do see myself in CNA, talking to politicians, talking to the president.
Public servant.
But for public servants, talk to public figures in a more intelligent way. So I know I need a lot more education for that. And
What do you think about people gaining experience from platforms like yours, from platforms like Amazing, so that they can expand their reach, where it may seem, I mean, what do you think about that? And who do you
I
think would
love
be a
it.
good fit for learning more from you guys?
We what I like about the podcast is we try to be as informative as possible.
Mhm.
Last week we had two young millionaires that started from grassroots. I know them both, Samantha and Jay Bustos, that are both a power couple. So we talked about how is it to be a power couple?
Sure.
What are the pros and cons?
Sure.
And how do you actually make your income? They're giving advice on how to finance homes, how to shop around for realtors or whatnot. Before that, we had TikTok influencer Orlando James. We had also Instagram influencers. What was her name?
Jenny Portillo.
No, that's not the.
Milan
as well,
Matthew.
to give us information, because these are very now in high demand type of professions, and so we were asking advice. Hey, for those folks that want to buy their home, or hey, for those folks that want to be social media influencers, or you're in the process of buying a home, what are the steps? So today we're talking to Amanda Sapp, the mass communicator. It's amazing to see you glow, and I see you every time, like in the most powerful circles. You'll be emceeing those events, girl.
Amanda, who were some of your idols growing up?
That's a good question.
Communication.
Sure. Well, I'm honestly, I was raised in church.
Okay.
And so the people that I got to see on large platforms were people like Benny Hinn, Creflo
Right.
Dollar, TD Jakes. These were all pastors,
Yeah.
So not only was I able to get spirit filled, but also got to watch how they move in the room.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
Yes.
And then more recently, Pastor Rudy at St. John's downtown. But watching these people and how they maneuver, how they engage with their audience, what reason is it for? I feel like people must understand the importance of engagement. It is not enough to know a topic, but really getting down to the root of what the messaging is, understanding who your audience is, and trying to make sure that when you connect, that it's from a genuine space. That I believe allows for longevity. And those people that I just mentioned all have that trait. They have that trait of longevity. They've been in this thing for a while. And it's not just about, I know this craft or I know this thing, but but it really is about connecting with the people that they want to engage with, and finding that message and targeting specifically that. Sometimes we get in all, I want to talk about this, I want to do that. And it's good to have variety, but there has to be a center focus in all of that. So
What
those were the people that I connected with growing up.
So you looked at these folks and you gained inspiration from
Absolutely.
these folks, but I also believe in being oneself, right?
Yeah, for sure.
For example, I have a lot of political mentors or whatnot, and at first, when I was younger, I was trying to be them, but then as you mature,
Mhm.
you
You find your own voice.
find your own voice.
Mhm, mhm.
In which I have an accent, and I'm proud of my accent now. I mean, before I didn't even want to be a Sanchez.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
is that?
And people will
That's
tell
crazy.
you, why you talk like that? Not you specifically, but they would tell me that because I'm from Louisiana.
Mm.
So sometimes it might come out in a different way than what you normally hear. But I agree with you that there is a time and space where you have to find your own voice.
You
So
find
how did
her.
you do that?
Well, it was a lot of trial and error. It was a
Mhm.
lot of lessons learned, and when I say lessons, sometimes was taking the big L.
Yeah.
For example, and not to get too out there, but during my first political campaign, uh, there was folks that were writing my talking points, and they would
Mhm.
say, "Hey, say these,"
Yeah, yeah.
and it was like I was reading a piece of paper, and I wasn't genuine, and I
Mhm.
felt it, and I knew I wasn't connecting with the crowd, and everyone was there to see me
Yeah.
and hear from me. But then it was just throughout time, I was just like,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure.
I'm done with this piece of paper. And yeah, sure enough, I was as in talking points, as in like three words,
Yeah, yeah.
three words that can just explode your mind
Yeah,
into
definitely.
different things. And so I don't care if my grammar when I'm talking is chopped up. This is just me.
Yeah.
I got ADHD, and I'm proud of it. And so my thoughts are everywhere. I think quickly, and it's a hell of a lot more genuine.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So throughout time, seeing the congresswoman running for office, seeing
Yeah.
other people like the mayor speak,
Mhm.
they only have short talking points, and they just let it go, let that real passion come out. So it's a thing of like what the social media influencers said. All of us, the people that we've interviewed said, how do you explode is being yourself, because if you're
Yes.
gonna copy somebody else, it's gonna be hard as hell.
Yeah.
That's already taken.
Mhm.
I like what you're asking, Ms. Valentine, about who were the people that influenced and things like that. Also, too, one word of advice I would give to anybody who's wanting to step into entertainment in whatever
Yes, please.
whatever that is that you are always open and willing to receive and to give. And Pastor Anita says, open and willing to receive and to give love. And I'm gonna show this with you guys. So if you'll do this with me, put your hands out like this.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And you'll do after me, but you'll say, I'm open and willing to receive.
I'm open and willing to receive.
Right? And you close your arms back. You say, and to give love.
And to give love.
Yeah, so I'm open and willing to receive.
I'm open and willing to receive.
And to give love.
And to give love.
Not only are these positive affirmations
I
that you're
love
giving,
him.
but you're open and willing to learning
Mhm.
new things. Sometimes we think, oh, I know this already. I did that already before. I already talked to this person. All of the things that you already know. But it's when you are open and willing to learn these new things that number one, never get old.
Mhm.
Number one, you continue to stay inspired, and inspiration is of God. And then that's where your creativity comes from, where you're able to do things that no one could have ever thought of because it came from you and your you're willing to be open to receive these things. I am
Yes.
not saying that I'm this or that, but I'm learning to be.
Mhm.
And I'm become more aware of who I am, my purpose in life, and where I want to go. I know these things. And so with me knowing these things and understanding what it takes to really connect with people, I cannot lose, Miss Valentine. I cannot lose, Ivan. I get the chance to sit with people like you and share this message.
You
I don't take
definitely
that
have
lightly.
great energy.
I know I do.
Thank you for sharing it.
But I have been open and willing to receive and to give love. And those things have allowed me to be able to, again, be in spaces like this, or like Ivan said before, be around whatever we would call this, political people, people of a certain, whatever, that are doing great things in community. I don't take this lightly. And I believe that people who want to step into this world, go in with an open mind, but also be willing to learn from others. I am willing to learn from others
Definitely.
all the time. This is a learning experience for me. So go in learning. That's some advice that I would give to anybody that wants to step into
Yes,
this
it's
space.
definitely not easy to be a public speaker. It's
And
very hard.
Miss Valentine, like you said, give yourself grace.
Yes.
Because so often, and I know, I'm sure Ivan, I'm not, you talk about me hosting, and that's fine because I do this all the time. But I have seen Ivan go into these places and direct folk
Yes.
here, go move this over there. Hey, have his cards ready.
That's why he won the award.
I've seen him.
Bossman of the
No, I've
Year.
seen him do it. Seriously,
No, but
I really, truly,
course.
seriously have seen him do it with these cards. And in fact, you were one of the ones that I don't know what we were doing, and it might have been hosting for Sheila Jackson Lee, but I think he was saying something about you have to remember the people ahead of you. Like, you have to call them out. You got to mention the names. It might take a minute, but you have to say this. These people's names who are here, who have represented, who paved the way of sorts. Do not, I'm gonna look at what a camera at with a laptop.
Right
Do
there.
not forget to mention these people's names,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, it allowed for you to be able to have a platform.
Yes.
So I commend you there, because you have done that, and I've seen you do it, and I watch you, and I will say that is something that I have been able to do as well. When I go in these places, is remember to don't forget to say these people's names. It's important.
Yeah.
It's important.
Every time I see the honorable distinguished Amanda Sapp, you got to mention the
Yes.
name.
Mhm.
But I think last time, well, you saw me perform or being out there was for the Roses for Janitors
Oh yeah,
event
yeah. That was a good event.
that we
That was really
hosted, in which is an
We were in a
annual event.
protest that day.
There was a
protest
protest in front
happened
of
that moment,
in front of there, but we're gonna do the Roses for Janitors. For those that don't know what Roses for Janitor is, so Houston Millennials has 7 committees, right? One of them is community service, in which I'm going to get them recommitted into the bread of life. But there's an annual event called Roses for Janitors, and how we came up with this is, well, actually 12 years ago, when I was in college as student body president for Valentine's Day, I just saw these ladies, the janitorial ladies, come clean up after all our rowdy ass selves as students. And so I just bought about 4 dozen roses.
Mhm.
And when I went into the janitorial department with them, those ladies started crying. Like, genuine, like they said that they thought that we thought that they were invisible, and they became like family members.
Yeah.
We really bonded. And so 12 years later, now we are the Houston Millennials, a different type of generation the world has never seen before.
Yeah.
We are not about tolerance,
Yeah.
because it's like, imagine me tolerating you, right? We're about accepting. And so now that we have the largest economic purchasing power, the biggest voting bloc the world has ever seen, we actually don't need permission from nobody. And we
Come
wanted
on,
to
somebody.
thank you. We want to thank these peoples that are literally cleaning the toilet you just used in public spaces every single freaking day without complaint. And they work hard. So every Valentine's Day, Houston Millennials has already vouched to buy. Last year, we bought 2,000 roses. We had third graders write a special thank you note on every single rose. It was so much work. I was just like barking orders, but it was a shit ton of work. It was a lot of work.
Let's even talk about the name Houston Millennials. I'm telling you, Miss Valentine, when you are walking in your purpose, things will fall into place. It is nothing is by chance. I was telling my brother that this morning. It's not just happenstance.
Just like when we met you, Amanda. We met you
somebody.
like so close.
It happens like that when you are on purpose and intentional about what you say. I don't just say anything. I command my day every single day before I even open my eyes. My phone is away, so that way I don't just go to it first and start sliding. Because we do that. We're human, and it's there. But so I've developed some things to help me become a better me. My phone is set aside somewhere. I'm grateful. I wake up grateful. So I make mention to that. And then I speak. This is my day. I am living on purpose, and I'm excited about what I'm about to do. And I make sure that I say that, and I thank God, of course, but I make sure I say that because I am pouring into myself first before I get ready to go pour into everybody else. But let's talk about the name Houston Millennials and the perfect timing.
Yes.
And remembering to lead with intention. and know that what idea that you have, it was inspired, which we understand inspiration is of God,
Mm.
and that you did it on purpose. And look to where you are, this beautiful location,
Yay.
great partnerships, commercials,
Hey.
throughout the podcast. It is intentional, and I believe that that is what also provides longevity. So kudos to you
Yay.
for
Thank you so
listening to
much.
yourself and not, because people could say that, oh, I got a millennial this or that, or whatever they will try to say. It doesn't even matter, because what is for you is for you, and you move forward with it with such great intention. And I have to applaud you for that. I mean, it's a great name, great
Thank you, Mama.
timing.
Yeah.
And I never heard millennial so much until these last couple of years, and I
Thank
think
you.
you hit it on the nail. Hit
Thank
the
you.
nail on the head.
And you know, I was a person that wasn't so into like energy and stuff.
Yeah.
I just kept going. But you said everything is intentional and
Yeah.
everything happens for a reason. And it's just that we as a generation, we were misunderstood. We're the first
Mhm.
ones to have supercomputers in our pocket.
Mhm.
And now you teach a boomer how to use Facebook.
Supercomputers.
You'll never get them off Facebook or even Instagram, for those that do know that. But now they feel what we felt when we were even on MySpace and CPixel even
Mhm.
before that.
Mhm.
But the thing is that every time you Googled millennials,
Mhm.
we were lazy and entitled.
Mhm.
We're lazy and entitled. And I was always just so bothered by that, because who I was surrounding myself with,
Was not that.
millennials like y'all selves,
Yeah.
we weren't like that.
Yeah.
What we lack in experience, we make up in drive and ideas. Yet we get our PhDs and masters, and we have in debt of like more than a freaking mortgage, and they still ask for 3 years of experience at $15 an hour. It's like, what is going on here? But then I was extremely lucky, through a lot of hard work.
Mhm.
I was able to work in the United States Congress. And even when I had the title and I had more hair than I do now, but I dressed pretty much the same as I am now back in the day, I would go networking, Amanda.
Mhm. Mhm.
And how many times did I feel like I was being pushed aside?
Mhm. Mhm.
How many times did I go out there and I was about to shake someone's hand that they just
Yeah,
look
they
at me
be
like,
looking. I've
Oh
been
my
there.
God.
I've been there. Like, who are you?
Yes.
Why are you even here?
I'm
They don't say
35.
it, but they look
I'm
that way.
35 with still a puppet face. So that's why I'm trying to grow out my beard a little bit. But when I was 25, I looked
Mhm.
like a quinceañera.
Mhm.
So that was one of the purposes of starting Houston Millennials, because I knew we are a different generation. We're a beautiful, large, extremely diverse generation. And so we started off to fight that stigma. But now, like I said, we can just be ourselves.
The great thing about millennials is what you just mentioned about forward thinking, innovative, and things like that. And us at one point having what did you say? Supercomputers.
Supercomputers.
I
This is a supercomputer.
Yes.
It looked a little different back then, but yes.
Blackberries.
And I think about that, and which we at Bread of Life developed a program called Tech Savvy Seniors HOU, where we help seniors understand the basics of their device. But I think about when we had
Cool.
supercomputers and what it was like to transition from a floppy disk to, a drive.
Remember
or
AOL?
Yeah, something like that. And, a lot of the seniors that we or have as clients for our organization, they want to learn this. They want to understand what it looks like to get on Facebook, Instagram, social media, get a email address. People who are willing and open to learn more things, then we are the ones that you want to go to say, okay, they have the patience, they have the human capacity to actually take time and develop with people. That's what I'm proud about as far as being a millennial is concerned, because I understand what you're saying, and I receive that, I welcome that, and I move forward in that. So I'm proud to be a millennial. I'm proud to be
Yay.
in the
Heck
space
yeah.
that we're in, and I'm proud to be on this podcast.
Thank you so much. So we're gonna change
For sure.
the topic a little bit. Not the
For sure.
topic, but we're still on the topic of communications. And it's not all fun and games to deliver the news, to be an air personality, because of sometimes you have to reveal very ugly news. For example, I heard you speaking on your show, your morning show, about the Amazon lady that got killed by 5 dogs. Was it 5 dogs?
Go back for me. I've reported so much news
there
that it has
was an
become.
Amazon driver that got muled and killed by 5 dogs.
Yeah.
I think her band stopped or
Gotcha.
something.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. I don't remember all of the details
Okay.
about that story, but it is stories like that that we do report. That is, it can weigh heavy.
That is my least
Yeah.
favorite. And also mass shootings. You don't have no idea how many times at my college radio station
Yeah.
I would have to deliver this news and I would be crying,
Yeah.
like in tears, because what if I got shot right now in
Mhm.
the college? Like it's so scary. It's a scary world out there.
Yeah.
How do you deal with delivering those type of news?
Mental health is important.
Oh,
So I will
Jesus.
say I've learned to find space between delivering that news and going to the next story.
Yes.
Sometimes you even have to just take time out for yourself, so that way that you can keep going to tomorrow.
Mhm.
Because you might have to do the same thing, deliver it again. So I take space for myself when I need it. I recognize my cues,
Mhm.
and then I kind of back away from that.
Yes.
And I've learned to separate what I'm doing as a job to who I am as a person, so that none of that follows me in any way.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's something else because mental health
Mhm.
in the millennial community and some other minority communities, they might say we just don't want to be seen as like the crazies, the outcasts, or whatnot. But there is help out there. I mean,
For sure.
like I don't like to admit this, but there were some times in my life where I looked like a shrimp in my bed for months. And my beautiful family, shout out to them. They're the greatest cheerleaders in the world. But they would just say, "Get over it.
Yeah.
Get your ass up. You're not even
Yeah.
serious."
Mhm.
And it would just make me worse.
Yeah.
That's
Just
a lot of families, by
A
the way.
lot
But
of
go ahead.
families.
and
I
just
can
know
relate.
that there is help out there. Seek out some help, some professionals,
Yeah.
or like even there's a women's shelter that has a lot of basic necessities
And
a lot
NAMI
of
Greater
different
Houston.
things.
NAMI Greater Houston has a show on our platform at Amazing 102.5 FM, and and the last
It's my
it
breakfast.
can't be that good. What is it?
It's my breakfast.
Is it?
Yes, it's my
Okay.
breakfast.
Every last Thursday of the month, we have a show with Chris Johnson, an executive director of NAMI Greater Houston. They come on and talk about mental health topics. And then you can also, again, go to their website and find out ways to get support, but it's free support. So NAMI Greater Houston offers free mental health support. So go to their website and find out more, or follow us at Amazing 102.5 and tune into the shows. They bring in really great guests who are tuned in and tapped in into the community.
When does the amazing actually broadcast?
We are a 24-hour broadcast, and our format is a talk variety, which means we have talk shows and we have variety music, which is hip hop, gospel, R&B, and Caribbean. We're 24-hour broadcast. My show,
Cool.
the Amanda Sapp Morning Show, is Tuesday through Thursdays. We record live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'm also going to have we've been renovating our station, so that's super exciting for us.
Nice way to
You know how
come
it is,
visit.
right? You know how it is when you're building the kingdom. Sometimes you want things to be exactly how you want it to be before you just expand, allow the world to come into your space. So we've been doing our recordings have been audio only. But we will be beginning our visual component in the next couple of weeks. I'd love to have you guys on.
Cool.
as
Yes,
guests.
please
Very
invite
nice.
us.
I'd
Yeah,
love
I was in your show. I mean,
Yeah.
I believe once or twice.
Yeah.
Looking to get into some good trouble once.
Yes.
pretty
Yes.
soon.
Always good trouble.
Always good
Always
trouble.
good
Like our
trouble.
late Congressman John Lewis used to say, let's get into some good trouble. And I know that you speak truth to power a lot in your radio station.
I do.
Yeah, what do you
I
talk
do,
about?
I do. With Amazing 102.5 FM, we provide edutainment. So that's some entertainment and education components.
Edutainment.
Yeah.
Edutainment. Nice.
Those are the components that we provide in our platform and our shows. If you go to amazing1025fm.org, there you'll see stories of triumph. There's one particular lady, I can think of, her name was Quandra Banks. And she got a BBL and died on the table.
Oh, no,
she
that's
died,
not funny.
girl. The girl died,
No,
and that's not funny.
It's not funny.
But she talked about how she lived and moved forward from that, and then we have that. And I've interviewed people like Vivica Fox, David Banner, Carl from Martin. The list goes on and on of the people that we've had on the platform, and then we have shows like United Healthcare. They're an amazing pop-up show, and there they allow our listeners to understand Medicaid, Medicare, and health access to healthcare. So
Did you know 1 out of 3,000 people die after
From
getting
having
a
a
BBL?
BBL? I did
Yes,
not
from
know that
having a
statistic, Ms.
BBL.
Valentine.
Yes, those statistics are huge. 1 in 3,000, that's a lot of people dying.
why do you know that?
Because we are journalists. We research.
Have you ever thought about getting a BBL?
No, never.
Mhm.
Never. No.
Ivan, is there any surgery that you would have?
Yes.
Face.
Okay, Miss Valentine.
Actually, I would. I don't know what BBL is.
Yes,
so.
I
Well,
don't
it's
think
a
you-
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, I'm not gonna get a BBL now. Oh Jesus, no! But I, unfortunately, if there was one thing I could change, is just I wish it was a little bit taller.
Oh,
Mhm.
Because,
yeah, same.
they say that for every inch, there's a certain point that the taller you are,
Mhm.
the higher the positions of job titles.
You're kidding.
No, there's an
What?
actual article for it was the article was for men. I'll probably look it up just for shits and giggles right after this. But it said that the taller you are, the more likely you will be get promoted at jobs. That you'll probably even get the better looking girl. That your lifestyle is gonna be better. So I'm 5'8" minus 1 inch. Just added 1 inch to that. I'm 5'7". But if I could be 6 foot taller,
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
up?
I have seen, okay, so I've seen you adverse through all of those things. I've seen
Right?
You always had a pretty girls around you.
Ooh.
You've created your own job. I mean, like, what you mean? I need to see these stats.
We'll
I need
check
to
them
see
out.
this.
We'll check them out right after this. But it's something. It's what is an interesting fact, and that's the only thing I would change.
Mhm,
Right? I'm
mhm.
losing hair, but shit, if that's what is gonna be my destiny, it's gonna be my destiny.
Miss Valentine, what would you change, or would you change anything?
Nothing.
Okay.
I mean, I guess the same thing. Everybody wants to be a little bit taller
Sure.
because, yes, the beauty queens
Mhm.
are so tall and they look great in clothing. But
Yes.
I love myself, and everybody else should love themselves too.
What about Amanda?
When I was younger, I used to say, when I get money, I'm gonna get breast implants.
Oh,
And then I realized, well, actually, what I have is pretty nice.
hey.
But it took time to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? This is a mindset. You have to really learn how to love yourself and teach
Yes.
people how to love you. You know,
I love
That is.
myself. It took a while to
Yeah.
learn how to love yourself and truly appreciate the
Truly.
talents that, because I'm not trying to be anybody anymore.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that's the most dangerous thing about me.
I love your transparency in saying anymore. That
Yeah.
shows growth.
Yes.
And
I mean,
that's-
it's before you were trying to pose the perfect pose
Mhm,
and
Yeah.
say the perfect statement. And I remember
You're
in
trying to
high
get to
school, so
people to
much
like you.
bullshit we went through to try to fit in. I could have made
Yes.
my own crew and be like, whoever doesn't like me can go over there, and then just be my part of my crew, right? And
Yeah.
I think that's why Houston Millennials has been growing so much lately, is because I do promote for people to find their passions. It's not when you come in here and people say, "Hey, what do you do, or what do you want me to do?" Questions right back at them. It's like, "What do you like doing?"
Mhm, mhm.
Because we try to find those passions. That's I think there's a very important key of like leadership
Mhm.
is not putting, like, let's say I suck at writing.
Mhm.
I'm not going to be a Houston Millennials writer, all right, or journalist or something like that. Some people hate to public speak.
Mhm.
Why would I put them in that role if they don't like
Mhm,
that? Some
mhm,
people are
mhm.
behind the scenes, some people are front end. So we try to not exploit that, but we really try to hone in that so those folks can really explore their talents and blossom.
I have a question, Miss Valentine. What has been the best guest that you've had so far here at Houston Millennials Podcast?
I'm gonna have to say you, Amanda.
Well, we already know that, honey. I'm here in the building. But before me, who was a guest that you would say was you can't forget them?
They're all my favorite guests.
Oh,
I
that's a
love
good
all
answer.
of the guests.
Sure.
Yes, but we are coming to the end of our podcast. Amanda, do you have any last words you would like to share with the public? Anything you want
I think I said it
We can
before and I'll
find
say it
you, yeah.
again. Be open and willing to receive and to give love. Always be willing. Thank you. There you go. Open
to?
and willing
Yes,
to receive
open,
and to give love. Yes, that part.
receive, and give love. I love it. I love it.
Be open to that. If you do get nervous before you begin to do any kind of speaking engagement or what have you, take a moment to breathe. Because oftentimes that's what's happening. We get putting ourselves in a chokehold, and really you just need to take some time, take a few deep breaths, walk away if you need to for just a second from that, what's about to happen, and center yourself. If you need to think about water, if you think about something calming, do that first. And I'm not just speaking. I'm talking from a production standpoint, from people, anybody that's about to do something, take a second, process what's about to happen, center yourself, and then go for that. Don't be, my last thing, don't be afraid to move forward. We talk about innovation, we talk about all these ideas and doing new things and amazing things. Amazing 102.5. But sometimes we are in our own way. Yes. Oh, that's not good enough. Or I got to do this. Or, well, first let me get this person and then I can do. But do it. They say the best ideas are in the grave because people did not do what they thought they wanted to do when they thought it. So I would say move forward regardless, no matter what it is. If you have that idea, I think that God will send the perfect persons as you are developing, but you have to move. You have to move forward. And then I will say you can find me on my Instagram. Yeah. My personal is the Amanda Sapp.
The Amanda Sapp. We're going to slide in her
Amanda
DMs.
Sapp.
Well, you are amazing.
If you're going to slide in there, please be
cordial.
At least 5'9".
At least I can't slide in there.
At least be 5'9" and above.
Dang.
Oh my God.
What is it? 5'8"? What are you? 5'8", 5'9"? 5'7". Okay, be 5'7" and above.
Yeah, there's so many memes about men in 5'7". It's like,
oh man.
Okay, and have a zeal for life because that's important for me. We're not talking about me dating, but anyway, and then at Amazing 102.5 FM HTX and our website. I have two, so amazing1025fm.org. And if you want to find out more about really tapping into the community, being a part of our distributions and our projects, you can go to breadoflifeinc.org.
It's been a pleasure to have you, Amanda. You have great energy. You have great advice.
Thank you, Ms.
I will never forget this interview. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Gilbert Garcia, for sponsoring this beautiful organization.
Yes, and also GalaWorks, the shared office space here in River Oaks and Galleria. Come join us, come dream with us, and come office with us. Also to Z Smart Insurance with Carolina Ortiz. Shout out to her and our amazing producer Shipil Yatlal, which does a lot of photography, videography. You can find them on Facebook. We'll post it down right below on the link. But just remember, guys, this is Houston Millennials, your nationally awarded organization. Our next massive event is the end of year networking at a millennial brand new club. It's December the 29th from 6 to 9. You can go to www.houstonmillennials.com to find more information.
That's right, guys. And see you next Monday for another great episode. And see you where else?
At the very top.
Welcome to Houston Millennials Professional Networking After Dark, the second annual here at Clay, where we're flooding this place with 1,000 young professionals. Houston Millennials is here to advance millennials into positions of power. We have 7 committees. This is the networking committee where we're getting out of our comfort zone so we can meet each other. See you at the top! There's hundreds, possibly 1,000 young professionals here that want to get to know you, and they're in the same task. They're getting out of the comfort zone to grow their businesses, to grow their circles. So come out and enjoy.